Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of GamesQuestions. Just a heads up before we start this week that we will be closed for bank holiday, which includes the 7th and 10th of April. So as of 5 p.m. today, we won't be sending any further fulfillment orders out until the April the 11th. And just to follow up from that, a customer service update, which is our team are still receiving a high number of customer support tickets, and the current response time is now 16 days. Please note that the team are doing all they can to respond to all inquiries. It's just currently we're receiving a mass volume of them. However, we have some new team members on board, so that should help with the volume, and we're aiming to get the response time down as soon as possible. We understand the frustration caused by this, but just a reminder that due to the way our system works, if you reply to your own ticket in the meantime, it will be reduced in priority. So please do not respond to your ticket in the meantime if you are waiting for a response. Before we head over to the questions on the blogs, I just wanted to give an update regarding Mosaic, as we are having a lot of inquiries from backers and there's a little bit of confusion as it was previously included on the blog. This is just an update to say that we are currently scheduled to fulfill the upcoming orders. However, it isn't currently included on the blog at this time, and we would recommend following the Kickstarter page or reaching out to the publisher to receive updates in the meantime. Following from Mosaic, we have a Vindication update. This is for the UK and EU. So hello if you're a backer of Vindication. We know you've been waiting for an update. Orange Nebula posted an update on their Kickstarter page explaining that they are currently in the fulfillment queue, and fulfillment is now scheduled to start at a later date than was originally expected. So just to be clear beforehand, this delay is at no fault of the publisher. And if you have been following the blog, you'll be aware that there has been a fulfillment update on the blog since the 17th of March, just explaining that we're currently at our busiest time of the year. And due to additional factors, we were expecting delays. Unfortunately, Vindication is one of the projects that has been affected by this. If you'd like further information on this, I'd definitely recommend reading the update in the meantime, which can be found over on the Kickstarter page, and I'll leave a link below. We have a plan accordingly to ensure that the impact to our fulfillment schedule has been kept to a minimum, and we have a lot of new faces who have recently joined the GamesQuest team. I understand if you're a backer of Vindication, this may have not been the news you wanted to hear. However, I do hope this information is useful. We do see your comments, and we're always working to communicate with you as much as we can. So in the meantime, just keep an eye on the blog and the Kickstarter page. But yeah, that's the update for Vindication. And with them updates out the way, we're going to head over to the EU blog first this week, and we're going to start off with Scarface 1920. I've had a few inquiries about backers wondering why they have not received a shipping email just yet. Please don't be concerned if you haven't received an email. There is around about just under 500 orders still being processed and waiting to be dispatched. So at this time, fulfillment is still ongoing. However, they've made fantastic progress, and the orders are swiftly going out the door. So just keep an eye out for the dispatch email in the meantime. And of course, keep an eye on the fulfillment blog, as it will be listed as fulfillment underway until it is in fact completed. So that is also just a good place to also keep an eye out for updates. Regarding tracking, we did post a update on our Facebook page last Friday, as we were made aware that certain people had received a tracking pre-alert. If you have received this and it hasn't updated yet, just know that you will also receive a dispatch email from ourselves. This is triggered once your order has been dispatched. So until you've received that, if you have had the pre-alert in the meantime, please don't be concerned that it hasn't updated. Hopefully that makes sense. I know tracking and pre-alerts and getting multiple emails may be confusing. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense in the meantime. I'm going to head over to the Binding of Isaac in the EU. So hello if you're a backer of Binding of Isaac. Just a quick update that this was accidentally listed on Fulfillment Underway on the blog when it went live on Tuesday. This was just an error on our half, and it's now been corrected, so apologies for any confusion caused there. If you've been following updates, you'll be aware that fulfillment for EU orders were originally meant to start on the week commencing the 27th of March. Unfortunately, the stock was inspected at customs, which has delayed fulfillment. However, if you've been following the Binding of Isaac Kickstarter page, who are doing a fantastic job at keeping backers updated, you'll be aware that this has cleared customs and was expected to be delivered on the 5th and 6th of April. At the time of recording this, I can confirm that it's partly arrived, so it is starting to arrive at our EU warehouse in the meantime. So that is the latest update for Binding of Isaac. And in the meantime, obviously keep an eye on the blog for updates for when it's going to start, and of course keep an eye on the Kickstarter page. Next up in the EU, we have Exalted Funeral. We have a question from Jen, who has said that they received a tracking email. They've received a tracking number, but it hasn't updated in the week. Firstly, sorry to hear that your tracking hasn't updated. If you can drop us a message on our Facebook page, which is at GamesQuest, we'll be able to check the status of your order for you in the meantime to see if it has been dispatched. If it has in fact been dispatched and your order has and the tracking hasn't updated, we'll be able to forward you over to our customer service team, who will be able to contact the courier on your behalf to get an update and investigate further for you on that. So yeah, Jen, we'll keep an eye out for your message in the meantime. And those are all the updates for the EU. So we're going to head over to the UK blog and start off with Final Girl. So once again, if you've been following along with the updates, you'll be aware that we were waiting for a stock transfer, and can confirm that the stock transfer did indeed arrive, and the final 3% of Final Girl orders are now being processed to be dispatched. Backers will receive a dispatch email once your order has been dispatched, so just keep an eye out for that in the meantime. Last up for Final Girl UK orders, we have a question from Eric, who is an Aussie backer. Thank you for leaving your question today. I want to make sure I can give you the most accurate information for your order as possible, so I would probably recommend if you can just drop us a message on our Facebook page, then we'll be able to assist further there. Next up, we have Binding of Isaac. That is still currently going out the door. We're expecting fulfillment for Binding of Isaac to take a number of weeks just due to the size of it. So please don't be concerned if you haven't received a dispatch email in the meantime. Also make sure to keep an eye on the Kickstarter page for updates for the Binding of Isaac. I do have a question for the Binding of Isaac from Kitch, which has said, if Northern Ireland orders are being shipped out at the same time. They are indeed being shipped out at the same time, so just keep an eye out for that dispatch email from us over the next few weeks while we process all the orders. And now we're going to head over to Casting Shadows from Tea Turtle. So fulfillment is now complete for Casting Shadows. We hope that the updates while that progressed was helpful to everyone. And we have a few questions about missing items. If you are missing an item from Casting Shadows, Tea Turtle will be sending them out separately. And for further information about missing items, we'd recommend reaching out to Tea Turtle in the meantime. There is a contact email address on the Kickstarter page in the comments. So if you don't have access to that information, please just head over there and they'll be able to assist further with any missing items from Casting Shadows. Okay, next up we have Riae the graphic novel, which I'm pretty sure I've probably said incorrectly again, so apologies there. Mike has asked if we had any updates for the American backers. Yes, so the American orders have now been dispatched from the UK warehouse and are beginning their journey over to America. So things are moving on that front. You've also asked why the updates are not on the blog. So this project as a whole wasn't included on the blog on this occasion. However, since we are the fulfillment house for it, we're always happy to answer questions about projects we are fulfilling. So that's why it's been mentioned here on GamesQuestions, but hasn't been on the blog in this instance. So I hope that makes sense. But yes, just to confirm, the American orders have now been dispatched from our UK warehouse. So just keep an eye out for a dispatch email in the meantime. Next up, we have a update for Isofarian Guard. This is still currently on the water, so there's still a few stages to go before fulfillment starts. So for any backers who are looking for updates for that, I just recommend keeping an eye on the blog to follow progress with that. Once we're in the project data analysis stage, we're in a better position to provide updates for the projects and how it's progressing. But whilst it's on the water and we're still waiting for it to arrive, there's not too much to share at this point. So yeah, just keep an eye on the blog. And once it's arrived, it'll be moved up to awaiting arrival from port, which is always exciting if you've been following the Kickstarter updates as well. So yeah, that's the update for that. And next up, we have Beast. We have a few comments that has mentioned that it's been listed in project data analysis since the 7th of March. Fulfillment for Beast is upcoming. However, there's a few projects ahead of it in the meantime, such as Maximum Apocalypse and Laxrax. However, at this stage, we are expecting Beast to follow suit after those two. So it is upcoming. There's just a little bit more of a wait in the meantime. Next up, we have the DC deck building game. We have a question from a backer who said the publisher said it was meant to start this week. The latest update I have for the DC deck building game is that it's still currently in project data analysis. In the meantime, all I can really say is to follow the blog as we progress. So we are currently at our busiest time of year, and there's a little bit of a backlog at the moment which we're processing. So some of the fulfillment start dates for projects such as Vindication, which we spoke about earlier, are later than were originally expected. We're trying really hard to keep everyone updated. So all I can say in the meantime is to keep an eye on the blog as we progress with the preparation of fulfillment. Anyway, that's all the latest updates and questions across the blogs this week. Just a heads up, I won't be here next Thursday, so GamesQuestions will be back on the 20th of April. Yeah, but as always, the blog will be out on Tuesday, and we'll try to reply to some of the comments in the comment section if possible. So if you do have anything, please post it or drop us a message on our Facebook channel, and we'll try to get that update to you as much as possible. So yeah. And once again, thank you to everyone who's left questions this week on the blog. Until next time, I hope everyone has a wonderful week, and bye.